To upload rates after logging in, go to Tariff Management, Manual Upload. In this screen, the user can either copy and paste data from an Excel spreadsheet, or they can use the upload option to upload the spreadsheet automatically. Click Next. When there's a spreadsheet uploaded with multiple sheets, the system will ask which sheet needs to be uploaded. The first screen in the upload process allows the user to define the columns of data, similar to AFRA1. In addition, if there's a previously defined template format here, they can select this from the list and click Apply, which will automatically apply the column headers. In this case, I won't. So column headers can be selected just by going to the drop down, choosing the appropriate item. Alternatively, you can just use the keyboard, start typing, press Tab to go to the next field. For the weight break columns, you also need to define what the weight break is. When the columns are defined, click Next to continue. The system automatically analyses the data that's been uploaded to determine if there's any missing mandatory values that need to be supplied for the tariff set. In this case, it's found these 5 values that need to be supplied. The effective date we can either type straight in, or we can use the calendar icon to select the appropriate date. The expiry date, in this case, I'll just type UFN for until further notice. If we want to, we can also optionally add extra columns of data. So we could say, okay, we want to add weight break remarks to say these are new tariffs. This will automatically add that column of data to every single tariff line. If some tariff lines already had remarks on them and you wanted to replace it, you could also tick the overwrite button, which would replace any existing data with the data that's been put into this field. Click Next to continue. This screen allows you to save the column definition so that you can reuse it in the future by selecting from the drop down. We'll click Save. Then the final screen before we go to the tariff set page shows you a validation sheet confirming each row whether it's been successfully processed or has failed. The failures are shown first, so for example this first row was actually the column headers, that's why the origin, it says origin rather than a particular airport code. And then this row has been removed because the origin and destination are the same. Underneath that it shows all the successful imports. Clicking Next to continue takes us to the Create Tariff Set page. On this page all the tariffs have been imported, and we just need to define the information for the tariff set header. The market is pre-populated for participants operating in any one market, and the carrier is pre-populated for carrier accounts. You can choose a set type here. I'll leave it in this case as general. If there's templates in the system that defines all this information, such as remarks and notes, you can click Get Template and that will automatically populate the information. If not, it can be entered manually here. You can also specify if there's any e-booking providers that should be allocated to these tariff sets to allow the e-booking icon to be introduced. Finally, we can click Publish. This takes us to the page where we have to accept the terms and conditions. We can also choose whether we want to send an email out when we when we publish these tariff sets or we don't. In this case I will send an email out. Here are your tariffs. We'll add a hyperlink which allows the recipient of the email to click on the link to go straight to the right tariff set, and we'll attach a PDF. In this example, there's no email addresses already supplied because it's general rates. If we had contract rates and we had already specified the forwarder, or we had sales rates and already specified the customer, there'd be a pre-populated list of email addresses available to send this tariff set to. In this case, I want to manually add an email address. And this creates a list of email addresses. I can also manually add customers that have been previously defined in the system. A new feature is to allow the system to notify me when this tariff set expires, to remind me to put a new tariff set in. As these are UFN rates, you can also say remind me when the UFN rates are 6 months old or 12 months old. Or you can choose no notification, which means you will not get an email. Finally, click the publish button. Tariff set has been published successfully.